What did I learn from filming my first day in the life of vlog? I feel like there's a lot of things that people don't talk about as first-time vloggers, and that's what I wanted to share on today's video. So it's not so much about camera equipment, it's not so much about lighting, it's not so much about angles, but pretty much what my experience was like the first time I did a day in the vlog of life. So the very first thing that I noticed is that it is not easy to film yourself in public. So if you think about it, when you watch some of your favorite YouTubers capturing content of themselves, it feels like you're right there with them. They're like face to camera, and it just seems so real and so engaging, especially like if they're walking in the mall or walking in the park or at a restaurant. You don't think about the fact that while that camera is right in their face or the phone is right in their face, they're in a public setting where people can look and stare and whatever. So that was the very first thing I noticed, that it's a little awkward when you start recording yourself in public with the phone in your face. The second thing that I noticed from creating my first day in the life of blog. And the reason why I keep saying day in the life of is because I feel like I've tried vlogging before, but I was pretty static. I was in one consistent location, and like I was sitting on my bed, or I was sitting at a desk, or I wasn't moving. So this time it was kind of like a documentary. I was on my way to present at the Intercoiffeur stage, which is one of the most elite, prestigious stage for hairstylists and owners in North America. Anyway, so yeah, and I wanted to really be able to share that experience, and I just had this kind of light bulb moment to share the experience. I didn't think about what that would entail, right? Because again, watching these videos on YouTube, you don't consider that stuff. So the first thing is that it is awkward to film in public. The second thing, piggybacking off awkward to film in public, it may not be as awkward as you think, because people are so used to people recording every single thing now that, like, when I got into the building, I'm like, hey guys, I'm vlogging. Just want you to know I'm vlogging. Nobody batted an eye like, oh, please don't get me on camera, or what is this weirdo doing? So a lot more people now in this day and age are so used to people recording everything that they almost expect it, or it's just normal, okay? The third thing that I realized is that the iPhone, you cannot flip the camera like you do on Instagram. So like, for example, if you are recording on Instagram, YouTube, or any one of the apps, you can double tap, or there's a function where you can, or even FaceTime, you can flip that little arrow and then you can record forward and you can record backward. That doesn't seem like a big deal until you are trying to find your groove in recording yourself. So there was a time where I was entering in the building and I'm like, all right, everybody, I'm entering the building. But then I wanted to flip the camera to show you who I was seeing in real time. And I'm just like, well, how do you do this? I don't even know how to do that. So that's one thing I noticed. If you're filming on the iPhone, you can't just flip the camera. You actually have to stop recording, flip it to get a different point of view, and then record again. So one of the models that was there, she said that you can kind of, it's almost like if you edited in a transition or another clip, you just quickly have to do it. So it's like, hey everybody, I'm getting ready to head over to the shampoo bowl, stop, record, and I'm still walking toward the shampoo bowl. So that's one thing. Another thing that I noticed. When it came to rewatching the content that I captured, I realized I was doing a lot of like talking and narrating through the whole thing. And after watching a lot of vlog tutorials, they said, not less is best, but kind of like, you know, like let the video talk for itself. Like the viewer's pretty good at following your storyline. So you don't have to say, okay, now, so I'm back. Okay, and now I'm here. Okay, so now I'm washing here. Okay, now I'm back in New York City. And I found myself doing that. But it wasn't until I watched back the content that I realized I was announcing every single scene. So that's something that I would probably switch around. So I'm more conscious of creating a storyline. So maybe I would come in with a little voiceover and just kind of say, because I do have a trip coming up that I'm going to try to vlog on again, but I wanted to just kind of share this initial experience of vlogging. So the next thing is that when it came down to the editing software, the last time I tried to edit a video, I was actually using iMovie. So I, naturally looked up tutorials about how to edit an iMovie. I'm familiar with editing from like Reels and stuff and previous videos, but I didn't realize that for the length of this file and the quality is so much that goes into uploading a high quality video, and also knowing what settings to use on the phone, because I had it on the highest setting. I had it like on 4K, 60 frames per second or whatever like that. But YouTube has a recommended quality that you shoot from. And also the quality of the whole video is determined by that first clip. I didn't know that. Those are things that you learn when you start trying to edit. So I don't think I'll be using iMovie anymore. I think I'm gonna experiment with CapCut, because what I did was I uploaded the full video and then I uploaded some random clip from CapCut to YouTube just to kind of test. I didn't keep it up there, I actually deleted it, but these are some things that I learned. Another thing that I learned, it happened all with the editing, all with the software. I think that's pretty much it. And I did speak about the storyline. I think that I knew I had something to say, which is I wanted to share my experience leading up to Into Coiffure, right? But still, there wasn't a consistent story. Oh, and the equipment. So when I was doing the selfie video, I know it was a little raw, with the bumps. People don't mind that if they're watching a vlog, they know that it's in real time. But I've been researching, and there's a gimbal, which is, it steadies, it stabilizes the camera on the phone so it doesn't bounce around as much. So I am not on expert status yet, but I did want to take the time to document my experience filming. I have a tripod. I forgot my stand, my tripod stand. So it would have been easier to do more point of view, because another thing that I've been watching on the tutorials, you have variety of shots. You have a wide shot that sets the story. Then you have the medium shot, which is usually about arm's length. And then you have those tight shots that are showing details, further kind of visually telling the story. So I'm really excited to try this again. I'm going to be heading to the West Coast at the end of the month, and I'm going to implement, and that's another reason why, if you go and look, I left the video exactly as is. Poor quality sound. Oh, wireless mic. I'm going to be using a wireless mic. I left the quality exactly as is so I can kind of document my growth, because everybody on YouTube says to just start your vlog, just start your video. You don't need a fancy setup. I have my phone on a stand. It's sitting on my suitcase. I have a light in front of me. You don't need a fancy setup. What's important is what you have to say. So I just want to document that I'm just taking a leap. I'm doing it messy. I'm just starting. And let's document the improvement along the way. So some things that I'm taking with me to my West Coast trip. I'm definitely going to have my stand. Hopefully I'll have my gimbal by then. I have a wireless mic, but I'm going to work on using the CapCut software. I'm going to be more conscious of my storytelling. I'm actually going to kind of outline it a little bit to what shots or what, not any specific angles, but just more driving my story forward, which is a day in the life of a global educator or a brand ambassador. I feel like that's something that people want to know about. And then Maybe it'll be a day in the life of me doing other things. I don't know. But for now, this is what I'm inspired to do. So I'm going to watch back this video now. I don't know what I look like because I'm not advanced to have a mirror behind me or a viewfinder, so I know what I look like. I found that when I can see myself in the camera, I get way too distracted and I don't act natural. When I talk like this, I feel like I'm natural and I'm just talking directly to you. So I'm gonna watch this back. I hope this video encourages you to start. I don't even know what's the result of starting. I can't even attest to what comes of starting, but I know that I'm a person that follows inspiration, and for whatever reason, I've just been inspired to vlog, to share my experience, and I'm determined to get better at it. At least that's how I feel right now. So let's stay tuned for the next video. Let's see how those small improvements enhance the video quality. All right, thanks for watching.